Welcome to Lovegrove Wellness. Before you begin, please ensure that you are in good physical condition and ready to exercise. If you have any questions in regards to this, please consult with your doctor. Balance. Starting in mountain pose. Feet either hip width apart or big toes together with a gap at the back for the heels. Pushing down with the big toe, little toe and heel. Keeping the chest lifted, tummy and tailbone in, standing tall, and we'll just take a few moments here to focus on the breath. So if you can, breathing in and out through the nose, and if that's not comfortable, just normal breathing is fine. Nice long in breath and even longer on the out breath. We're going to start with Ashtanga Sun Salutations. Inhale, extended mountain pose. Arms rise, fingertips touch, looking up at the fingers. Exhale, swan dive, bend the knees, slight back bend and take a forward fold over the legs, relaxing the head down. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands either stay fingers to floor or hands to shins, and opening the chest by squeezing the shoulder blades for a flat back position. Exhale, step back to chaturanga, half plank, option to place the knees down on the floor. Inhale, lifting up either into cobra or upwards facing dog, resting onto the tops of the feet and pushing the floor away. Exhale, tuck the toes and push back for downwards facing dog, hips high. We're going to take 5 breaths here. Inhale, halfway lift, stepping the feet back and coming again back to that position with the fingertips or the hands to the shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms rise up for extended mountain pose. And exhale, arms down to mountain pose. Let's take that sequence again with options for progressions. Inhale, extended mountain pose. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to floor or shin. Exhale, step or jump back to chaturanga, half plank. Inhale, lifting up for cobra or upwards facing dog, open the chest. Exhale, push back to downwards facing dog, hips high, 5 breaths here. Looking to the top of the mat, inhale, step or jump to halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, extended mountain pose. Exhale, arms down to mountain pose. We're going to take that 2 more times. Inhale, extended mountain pose. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, step or jump to chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upwards facing dog. Exhale, push back, downwards facing dog, 5 breaths here. Inhale, step or jump, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, extended mountain pose. Exhale, arms down, mountain pose. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 5 breaths in downwards facing dog. Inhale, step or jump, half lift. Exhale. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, mountain pose. Moving into our first balance now, tree pose. This is going to help to open up the hips. Taking the right foot, either resting the toes on the floor with the heel on the ankle, the foot to the calf, or up to the thigh, making sure we're not resting on the knee joint and we're coming below or above the knee. Press the foot towards the leg and the leg towards the foot. Keep the knee open to open out the hips. Bring the hands to the chest in front of the heart with the palms together in a prayer hand position, and squeeze the shoulder blades together to open up the chest. Focus the eye line to keep your balance. Either keeping the hands where they are, or take an inhale to rise the fingertips up towards the ceiling, and exhale to relax the shoulders away from the ears. Making sure that you're breathing in and out through the nose if comfortable, and use that breath to help you to balance. If the hands are in extended mountain pose, slowly start to bring them back down in front of the heart, and then when you're ready, lowering your foot down into mountain pose. We're going to have a go on the second side. So take the weight into the right foot and the left foot either with the toes to the floor, foot to the calf, or high to the thigh. And again, bringing the hands in front of the heart in that prayer position, shoulders away from ears, and ensuring that you're pushing down on the big toe of the supporting leg. That's going to help with our balance today. Option to keep the hands where they are, or use the inhale to rise the arms above the head for extended mountain pose, and exhale, standing tall, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears with a nice long neck. Try and find a point of focus for the eye line, which will help to keep your balance. When you're ready, bringing the hands back down in front of the chest, and then lowering back down, both feet back into mountain pose. We're going to move back into our sun salutation sequence and come into some warrior poses now. Inhale, extended mountain pose. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to floor or shins. Exhale, step or jump to chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upwards facing dog. Exhale, push back, downwards facing dog. 5 breaths here. Inhale, lift the right leg for three-legged dog. Exhale, step between the hands to set up for warrior, ensuring the heels are in line and back toes turned out. Inhale, rise the arms up, and exhale to open for warrior 2, taking 5 breaths here, ensuring that the shoulders are stacked in line with the hips, and we're pushing the front knee out over the little toe and trying to create a right angle with the front leg. Moving into extended side angle, inhale, reach your right hand forwards, and exhale, bring the forearm to the thigh, reaching the left arm over the top to create a diagonal line from fingertips to back heel. Keep the chest open and the arm slightly in front of the body so that you can look into the palm of the hand. Moving back to warrior 2, inhale and then exhale back to warrior 2. Moving to triangle pose now, straighten both legs and then inhale to reach forward, shifting your hips back, and exhale to bring the arm to the inside of the shin with the top arm high. We're aiming for a straight line from the top fingers to the bottom fingers here. Keep the chest open and the hips open to the side of the room. If it's more comfortable, you can keep a slight bend in the front leg. Balance, floating half moon. Inhale, shift the weight onto the front leg, and then exhale, lifting the back leg off, keeping the eye line down towards the floor, and keep the chest and hips open to the side of the room. If you have a yoga block, you may wish to place your hand on the block to maintain your balance. Moving into reverse warrior, inhale to place the back foot down and exhale to reach over and C-shape your spine for reverse warrior, keeping the bend in the front leg and the back leg straight, and the chest and hips are still open to the side of the room. Windmill the arms down now to frame the front foot, lifting the back heel off to come into lunge. Inhale. Exhale, step the back foot in, forward fold. Inhale, rise the arms up for extended mountain pose. And exhale, arms down to mountain pose. Aeroplane pose. Keeping the feet together or taking them slightly hip width apart. Inhale to rise the arms in line with the shoulders and lift the heels. Exhale to hinge from the hips and dive forwards with the chest, maintaining that flat back position and taking the arms behind you slightly if you can. Focus your eye line on the floor and try to keep the heels lifted. If you find this too challenging at present, you can keep the heels down on the floor and just take that dive position forwards. When you're ready, inhale, slowly lifting the chest, keeping the heels lifted if you can, and then exhale to lower the heels and arms for mountain pose. Sun salutations and warrior sequence, second side. Inhale, extended mountain pose. Exhale, swan dive forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downwards facing dog. 5 breaths here. Inhale, left leg, 3-legged dog, shoulders square. Exhale, step between the hands to set up for warrior. Back toes turn, back heel down. Inhale, rise the arms up, and exhale to open out to the side for warrior 2, looking towards the front hand. 5 breaths here. Extended side angle. Inhale, reaching forwards. Exhale, forearm to thigh, reaching the top arm over, and again looking into the palm of the hand, aiming to create that diagonal line from the top fingers to the back heel, keeping the chest and eye line open towards the ceiling. Moving back to warrior 2, inhale and exhale to open the arms back up. Coming into triangle pose, straightening both legs. Inhale to shift the ribs forwards and the hips back, and exhale to bring the fingertips to the inside of the shin and open the arms up for triangle pose. Moving into that balance again, floating half moon. Inhale, shift the weight onto the front leg, and exhale to lift the back leg off, keeping the chest and hips open to the side of the room and taking the eye line down towards the floor. Again, using a yoga block for the bottom hand if you need to assist. Inhale, bring the back leg down, and exhale for a reverse warrior. C-shape the arms over the top and taking a slight back bend, keeping the chest and hips open to the side of the room. Windmill the arms down to frame the front foot and lift the back heel. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, step in, forward fold. Inhale, rise the arms, extended mountain. Exhale, arms down, mountain pose. Aeroplane pose. Inhale, lifting the arms and the heels, and exhale to dive forwards, taking the eyes towards the mat, and taking the arms slightly behind you if comfortable. Again, remember the option to keep the heels down on the floor. Try to maintain the focus with the eye line to keep the balance and keep the core strong. Inhale to lift the chest back up again, coming back up to a standing position. And then exhale to bring the arms and heels down for mountain pose. We're going to move into gorilla pose now. So take the feet hip width apart, unhinging from the hips, keep the knees slightly bent, and take the hands under the soles of the feet. Tucking the hands under and resting the big toe on the thumb joint. Relax the head down towards the mat, looking through the legs, and if you can, allowing the elbows to drop out to the sides. Keep the tailbone lifted and take as much bend in the knees as necessary. Try to keep the shoulders away from the ears. Taking the hands out now from underneath the feet, slowly roll yourself up through the spine, bringing the head up last. Coming back into mountain pose, so feet can either stay hip width apart or take the big toes together with a gap at the back for the heels, and reset those shoulders. Sun salutations. Inhale, extended mountain pose. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, open the chest. Exhale, step or jump, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upwards facing dog. Exhale, push back, downwards facing dog. We're going to move straight into garland pose, looking to the top of the mat. Inhale and step or jump your feet just behind your hands for garland pose. Toes turn out and feet the width of the mat. Take the arms to the insides of the thighs and bring the hands into a prayer position in front of the heart. Try to keep the chest as upright as possible with a nice long spine. If you find this difficult to keep the heels down on the mat, you can either place yoga blocks underneath the heels or take the feet slightly wider. We're going to try a hand balance now. Crow pose. Take the hands to the mat and spread the fingers wide with the middle fingers facing forwards. Keep the pressure between the arms and the legs and lift the hips and heels. Shift the weight forwards with the eye line just in front of you, and then see if you can take one foot off the mat at a time. If you're comfortable with crow pose, see if you can bring the toes together at the back whilst keeping the hips lifted. Remember to keep the eye line slightly in front of you and don't take the eye line through the legs, as this will throw the balance off. Come down between the balances and give the wrists a roll if you need to. If you're not confident with crow pose and you haven't done it before, just have a go at shifting the weight forwards and back and lifting one foot at a time. Just getting used to that balance point. And if you feel more comfortable, you may wish to place a cushion on the floor in front of you. If you're comfortable with crow pose and you've done it before, you may wish to try a higher option today. So again, taking the hands to the floor, this time we take the knees to the triceps or towards the armpits to get the hips higher. Again, shift the weight forwards, and when you're ready, taking the feet off. This enables us to get higher in this crow position. When you're ready, you can come back down and just move into child's pose for a resting position. In child's pose, knees slightly wider than the hips, big toes together and just pushing the hips back towards the heels and resting the forehead down towards the mat. Just taking a few moments here to breathe in and out through the nose. Moving back into downwards facing dog, come up onto the hands and knees and then tucking the toes. Inhale, exhale to push the hips up. Taking a flow through here, inhale to high plank, rolling forwards. Exhale, lower halfway chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upwards facing dog. And exhale to push back to downwards facing dog. Coming to a seated position, look to the top of the mat, bend the knees and lift the hips and heels. Inhale and exhale to step or jump to a seated position. Half upright seated bound angle pose. Coming into bound angle pose, take the soles of the feet together and let the knees drop out to the sides and towards the floor. Take the hands to the ankles or the feet, and then taking the right leg first, take the hand to the foot or the index finger and middle finger wrapping around the big toe. Keeping the chest upright, inhale, and as you exhale, extend the leg out to the side. Engage the core to keep the back flat and upright with a nice long spine. Bring the leg back down again now to bound angle pose, and we'll switch onto the left side. So take the hand to the left foot or the fingers around the big toe. Inhale and then exhale to extend the leg out to the side, keeping a nice long spine and the chest lifted. Bring the leg back down again now, coming back to bound angle pose. Either staying here or there is an option for a progression for full upright seated bound angle. This pose does require a lot of core strength to help us keep our balance. So if you would like the challenge, you can either take hold of both feet or wrapping the fingers around the big toes, inhale, and then exhale to extend both legs out, keeping the chest upright and a nice long spine. When you're ready, lowering back down and come back into a cross-legged position. We're going to move down onto the mat now before we come into our final resting position. So take the feet hip width apart, take hold behind the backs of the legs and roll all the way down through the spine into a lying position. Moving into happy baby pose, take the legs up towards the ceiling and take the feet slightly wider than the hips. Bending the knees in towards the armpits, either taking hold of the outsides or the insides of the feet, and try to keep the tailbone flat on the floor. If this is uncomfortable on the neck, you may wish to place a cushion or yoga block under the head to keep the spine in line. Bringing the legs together now, just bring the knees in towards the chest and give them a hug and rock side to side. Coming into our final resting position, Shavasana, take the legs out long and take the arms out long down the sides of the body. Take some space between your arms and your body and some space between your legs. With the palms of the hands either facing up or slightly in towards you, and allow your feet to relax out wherever feels comfortable. Again, if you have any pressure on the neck, you may wish to place a cushion or yoga block under the head to keep the spine in line. And if you have any lower back issues, you may wish to place a cushion or pillow underneath the knees. When you're ready, either softening your eye gaze or completely closing your eyes. And just beginning by relaxing the body by lying quietly in Shavasana. And now just letting your mind wander, wandering around the environment, listening to any sounds that may be reaching you from outside, trying not to analyze, just becoming aware of the sounds. Become aware of them as something external. And then bringing your attention now to the body. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, feel yourself letting go. Just releasing the body down towards the mat. Focus your mind on the meeting points between your body and the floor. and continue to focus on this feeling for a couple of moments, developing this feeling where the body is making contact with the floor, and if there's any space between your body and your floor, maybe space underneath the knees, maybe there's space under the arms, under the ankles. And next, just taking a scan of the body, just mentally scanning the body slowly from the head all the way down to the feet, starting at the crown of the head, moving onto the face, the shoulders, down the length of the arms, through the torso, down the legs, and finally resting on the feet. And just bringing your awareness now to the breath, the natural breath, and focusing your attention on the breath as it moves in and out of your nostrils. Maintain your awareness of this for some time. And if you want to, you may wish to count the breaths, breathing in 1 and breathing out 2, breathing in 3 and breathing out 4. If you lose your way or your focus becomes drawn to something else, try and bring the awareness back to the breath again. Just staying with the breath now for a few moments longer. So with your next inhale, just begin to bring some awareness back into the room again. Just being aware of the room in which you are resting. Keeping the eyes closed, you may wish to make small movements with your fingers and your toes, and maybe move your head from side to side. And then if you feel ready, just stretching the arms and legs out long, bringing some more energy back into the body, and maybe bringing the knees in towards the body, giving them a hug and taking a rock from side to side. And when you're ready, slowly rolling onto your right side away from your heart, taking a few moments here, keeping the eyes closed. And finally, returning back up to a seated position, slowly blinking the eyes back open and allowing the light back in. And bringing the hands together in front of the chest. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for today's practice.